Hey, how's it going? I'm Dr. Brian, and I put together this really simple beef bone broth video for you. I think bone broth is so good for you, and I think it also tastes good. I love it, especially in the morning, on a cold, wintry morning. It tastes great, and it gives your body those minerals and proteins, the collagen, and the amino acids that are so important for our health and for our ligaments, our skin, our tendons. It's just it's a great addition to a healthy routine. So here's a simple way to put together a beef bone broth. I hope you like it.
1.1 kilogram or 2.4 pounds of beef bone raw, all right? So that's the total there. Make sure they're grass-fed, hormone-free, organic, and local if possible. The cleaner, the better. All right, so when you get your bones from the butcher, they'll be the long bones, and they'll cut them up for you, and they'll be in the wrapping. So what we're gonna do is take the long bones out of the plastic, because they will have cut those up for you, and put that in a separate plastic bag. So what we're doing is putting them in a pot on the stove, and we're gonna fill the pot full of water, boil the water for 20 minutes, and then we're gonna take the bones and put them in the oven. All right, so we have the beef bones in the pot. I'm just gonna fill this with water now, and I just wanna point out the marrow. Look how beautiful that is, and it's quite hard and firm to touch, but watch after we bake it for half hour, what it turns into. It's quite cool. So doing this blanching process is going to help to clean a bit of just some of the nastiness off of the fresh bones. I just like to take some of the foam off. Just scoop it up with a ladle. All right, so those bones have been boiling for just over 15 minutes now. So I'm going to transfer them, and we're going to put them in the oven. All right, so check out the marrow now. How nice is that? Nice and soft. All right, so once we get them on here, we put them in the oven for as long as we can. I turned up the oven as high as it can go, and just gonna keep an eye on them for at least a half an hour. When they get really dark and brown in the smoky color, so we've got it at about 250 degrees, fan forced oven. Okay, so now that the bones are in the oven, we're gonna set the timer for 30 minutes, and then we'll check them. We might probably cook them for an hour, but we'll check them in 30 minutes. So if you want to put a little bit of salt and pepper on the bones while they're baking, that can add a nice flavor to them. Okay, so now we have the beef bones in the pot with some cold water after we just pulled them out of the oven. And we're going to add the 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, so now we're hooking up the slow cooker, all ready to go. So we're gonna put it on. That's all there is to it. And then later on, and then we're gonna add the vegetables. So just let it slow cook and I'll see you in the morning. All right, so it's been about 16, 15 hours since we started this. We turned it on last night, it's been cooking overnight. So I'm just gonna pull the top, check and see how it's going. Now, I like to look at the color, the darker, the richer. You can see it's still quite clear. So it's obviously gonna cook for, I'm gonna let it go for another 24 hours. And then now I'm gonna add the vegetables. So now, some people put the vegetables in right away. I like to cook it for a little bit first in the slow cooker. And I've got an onion, a few carrots, celery, and I like to put some leaves like some rocket lettuce and some spinach leaves. Put all of that just right in here. Not too important there, how much or how little. Just enough to give some flavor, and then we're also going to get all of the vitamins and minerals from the vegetables soaking in there for another 24 hours. So there you go, it's looking really good. You can see the fat layers on the top. All right, so it's been 36 hours, and now we are in the process of straining all of the stuff out and bottling it up. So I just use a strainer to scoop out most of this, all the vegetables. So this is where we've let those bones sit for 36 hours, and they're pretty hot. But you can see the marrow in there, and that is what we're going to scoop back in. This is the marrow here. You want to make sure that you leave that in the mix. All right, so now we're going to strain it into our strainer, which is the cheesecloth.
All right, that's it. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, you can feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I am looking forward to hearing how this turned out for you. So let me know. All right, take care.